Hello everyone, this is Yasu Gamer Girl, and welcome back for another Pokemon Speed Art. Last time we did Newt Newt, because we didn't have any suggestions, and this week's suggestion comes from Rapidbrick Studios, or the 8-Bit Baron. I don't know which one you want to be called by, I'm sorry. Anyway, he suggested that I draw Treecko with Goku hair. And I asked him what kind of Goku hair, because it could be Saiyan or Super Saiyan or just regular hair. And he said Super Saiyan would be okay. So I did that. I thought, hey, that'd be a cool thing to do because I personally like Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball and all that stuff, and never really thought of combining the two together, you know what I mean? So what I'm thinking is, well, it's easy to, just combine them, but why not just go ahead and make him look cool too and get effects. So right now I'm just in the process of tracing and just coloring the base color of them. I also want to correct last week saying that last week the reason it did take 4 hours, but it wasn't sped up 5,000 times. It was sped up 2,500 times its normal speed. This one, because it wasn't as long to take, it didn't take as long. Only had to be sped up 1,000 times. Yeah, its normal speed. So this only took about an hour to do because it was low enough of the sort of specific, how do you say, there wasn't too much detail and a lot of shadowing to do. As you can see, I'm just tracing. I'm like, oh, okay, this is the base color, and I also used a lot of vectors to make the pointed ends and the curves the right way. I only freehanded a little bit, but see, as you can see here, I am doing vectors and making sure the hair is pointed correctly in the right position, and then I color it in with the correct color or whatever. But yeah, this didn't have to be sped up as much because it didn't take as long. Yeah. So anyway, I thought this was such an interesting suggestion that I thought I'd go a sort of a different way with it. So I thought, hey, first I'm gonna, draw Treecko, and I always practice drawing this off screen because I don't really have the equipment to show my actual drawing, like starting to draw it. That's why it's a little more fun just showing you guys how I'm coloring it. So first of all, I shaded the hair because the hair had, when I saw it, it had, let's see, about 3 different shades besides the yellow. Obviously it had like this orange shade and then this brown shade for the darker tones, and then it had the light yellow sort of as a lighter tone. I wanted to get it close enough to what the hair looked like on the picture of Goku, obviously not totally copying it, but I'm just cleaning up here. As you can see, I'm just making sure that it looks okay, and then I add light tones. I'm like, okay, yeah, that looks okay. So yeah, then I have to start working on Treecko, because Treecko actually, again, the simpler the Pokemon, the more likely they are to have a lot less shadowing and a lot less detail in general. So as you can see, I didn't do too much shadowing for this one. Although I did have to watch the tones. Sometimes I do it too dark the first time. I'm like, oh wait, I can't make it look better if I don't do it right the first time. So yeah. Anyway, I'm always picky on my shades because of the fact that, oh, does this look like, correct in a sense? Again, my artist's pickiness ways of it. So I'm actually, see, the only reason I did it the way I did is probably because I wasn't thinking of the character itself, like Treecko with Goku's hair. That's not what I was thinking of. You're gonna see here in a minute after I finish, which I'm literally just putting the finishing touches by doing the tail here. Whoop, boop, boop. Yeah. The tail, after the tail, I'm like, okay, as I was doing this, the most thing I was thinking of was concentrating on what is the background going to look like. I want all that energy, like, around from what Goku does when he transforms into a Super Saiyan. So I was looking at the yellow hair and I'm like, okay, so now that I got this, I'm going to go ahead and try for a type of blue. Obviously, I had to look at more. I'm like, oh, that's close enough, to whatever energy, that Goku has. So I had to make sure very carefully, besides clean that up. I had to make sure very carefully that the energy looked, how do you say, sparky enough and still faded enough that I could smudge it to look correct. What I do is I do a rough, like, scribble sort of, and then I would make sure that all of the energy looked smudged enough, in a sense, if that makes any sense. I didn't want to put too much, but I also didn't want to put too little, and I realized that I had to do it multiple times. So that's what you're seeing here, me going over and over and over again, and then getting a little color, more color added, so because it looks cooler that way. See, even when I smudged it. Anyway, I was having trouble the whole time of thinking of what to call this, so I wanted to call it Ka-Me-Ha-Tree-cko, like when he's saying Ka-Me-Ha-Me-Ha. Instead of that, he's saying his name, Ka-Me-Ha-Tree-cko, And, you won't see me correct this until the end, but I misspelled Treecko the first time, so at the end of the video I corrected. So, yeah, anyway, I had a tough time. I'm like, wait, I was making sure if that was, like, correct and stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much. Oh, and I made sure there was a little bit of, like, sort of energy flowing around his. I was thinking, oh, maybe from his mouth, but no, I just thought his arms or hands, because that was more appropriate for Kamehameha wave and stuff, you know what I mean. So yeah, that's pretty much the Treecko, Goku Treecko. So yeah, see here, I'm correcting it. All right. So that's the end of that. Thank you so much for watching the speed art, and please remember to subscribe to CollabCamerupt and leave a comment to request next week's Pokemon speed art. Thank you for watching!